And it's a beautiful day. I guess we could just hang out for an hour or so, but some people have schedules, so we're going to get started here. My name is Richard Leopold. I'm the director for Polk County Conservation Board. I sent out an email earlier today. We were talking about this and how far we had come, and I joyously give you my humble gratitude. We're in here today to celebrate what's going to be happening with the Athene Easter Lake North Shore. Great project. So I've shared with a couple of people, we've done some work here, and you're going to hear from another speaker just some of what we've done here. But when we got done with some of our activities, it was Doug Romig and I. Doug's here. He was deputy director here. We were looking at the beach, which at the time was packed with people, and we said, it's too small. We got to do something. So we started thinking about what to do with the beach. And then we looked at our concession, and everything happened in there. That's not good. The only thing holding that building together is the paint. There's no ability to do anything with that. And then we had other things going on. So we had the rowing club that approached us and wanted to, talk about maybe a facility out here. Well, that's exciting. And then they started bringing in para-rowing and some of the conversation about an exercise room and stuff like that. That's cool. Come to the party. We were talking with the Disabled American Veterans. We'd long been looking at doing a pontoon boat or something. So we've got accessible docks where people are fishing. But we wanted, a lot of the surveys were coming back that vets with challenges wanted to fish and they wanted to be on the water. So we've been talking about pontoon. Then we started talking about DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, and making sure that whatever we're going to build here, the vision is getting bigger, that we include all of those principles in. And when we looked at underserved populations, we started looking across the ability spectrums. So are we doing this the right way for people that have physical challenges, that have psychological challenges, that can't get around? Are we doing this right for not just those individuals, but the entire families, so that when we have an outdoor experience, that it's the whole family that has the amenities and are able to enjoy what we have? So I guess what I'm saying is this thing mushroomed. From where we started to where we ended up, it was just a tremendous, and by the way, this is during a worldwide pandemic, by the way, that this conversation was happening. You're going to hear about some of the fundraising and things like that from some of the people involved. Amazing leadership that's come forward from this state and community, and you're going to hear from some of those people. But I'm just here today to celebrate that we are doing something unique here in Des Moines, Iowa, that we can all be proud of. So as our first speaker, I'm going to call up Debbie Durham. She's the director for the Department of Economic Authority. I said that wrong. I know I did, Debbie. But the governor's office and Director Durham have been fantastic supporters of this project all along. So I'm going to first turn it over to her.
Well, good afternoon. I cannot think of a better place to be on this beautiful Monday. Or what day is it? I just returned from vacation, a day early, actually. So I don't even know that I know the day. First of all, I want to send greetings from Governor Reynolds, who so wanted to be here and was disappointed, but I said I'd be happy to stand in. It's been a pleasure to be with people who is just as passionate as I am about the strength of our communities and who look at a challenge and run to it instead of running away from it. And it's also my privilege to serve with an unmatched quality, to serve a state with an unmatched quality of life and innovative spirit. I don't know if you realize, but Iowa was recently named #1 in opportunity and one of the top 10 states to live in the country. Our communities, we offer beautiful parks and trails and art festivals, great jobs, affordability, those key ingredients that give people the freedom to build their lives as they want. That freedom should also apply to everyone, and projects like the Athene North Shore Recreation Area will put Iowa on the map as a welcoming place for people living with a disability as well as their caregivers. Outdoor recreation is so much more than just something to do. Studies have actually shown that exposure to nature has a healing effect on both the mind and the spirit. The first of its kind recreation area is such a great success story, the result of creative thinking and partnerships. And like so many of the best success stories, this one arose from a challenge, making water recreation possible for all. The #1 request for the Veterans Administration's regional office in Des Moines is for a place that veterans can go fishing right on the water, not from the shoreline. The VA approached Polk County Conservation about finding an accessible pontoon boat to keep at Easter Lake, and none could be found. And meanwhile, the Des Moines Rowing Club, which has a para-rowing program, was searching for a home for its events as well. Iowans, of course, have a way of seeing opportunities within obstacles and working together to make great things happen. So today we celebrate not just an incredible project, but the research, brainstorming, and private-public partnerships that went into it. I first want to recognize Polk County Conservation and the companies, and so many companies when you look at that list, that came together around this incredible project. Like Governor Reynolds, I have long championed private-public partnerships, and this is why. When people with diverse experiences, approaches, resources come together, we see things more creatively. We begin to think big. And not only that, but our projects actually get done. At IEDA, we were proud to award $2.5 million through Destination Iowa, a $100 million investment that inspires world-class attractions that give people, visitors, a reason to explore, and Iowans another reason to stay. And just as you did, we saw the potential of this very project. Because when our people thrive, our communities thrive. And when our communities thrive, it raises the profile of Iowa and attracts new businesses and talent. I want to thank Governor Reynolds for making the investment in Destination Iowa. I love to think what Iowa will look like in the next 5 years. Many of our Destination Iowa projects are building opportunities for outdoor recreation like boating and kayaking and canoeing and swimming and playgrounds. But I also want to recognize Macy, who's with us today, and Elena, who could not be here, because actually, even though it was a really good application, you had to get through those two first. And so they put a great deal of scrutiny went into these awards. All of those activities will be available right here, accessible to people of all. As for the pontoon boat, what I understand is it's actually being built, and our veterans will have that place to fish on the water. I will close with a quote from Christopher Reeve, who said, "So many of our dreams at first seem impossible. Then they seem improbable. And then, when we actually summon the will, they soon seem inevitable." So from the moment I met this team assembled here today, I knew that this was inevitable. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Director Durham. Very well said. When I think about the project and once we started moving into, Providence is what I started thinking of. Making the decision to do it was the hard part. Once we decided, everything started moving in a certain direction. Another thing that has been very helpful here is the state government and the governor's office and Director Durham have been very supportive. Local government entities have been incredibly supportive. So we have 3 county supervisors here today. We have Angela Connolly, Matt McCoy, and Tom Hockensmith, who's going to share here shortly. We have numerous city council members from the city of Des Moines. We're actually in city of Des Moines proper. So I've seen Joe Gatto and Connie Bozen, and maybe there's others that are here. Carl Voss, yes, and of course I said hi to Carl. So we have had tremendous support from our local political entities too. And I give you Tom Hockensmith with the Board of Supervisors.
Thank you, Rich. You know, standing here listening to these comments and the conversations I was able to have with some folks before I came up here, you know, the old saying, it takes a village, it really does. The different jurisdictions that have participated in this project since the very beginning, believe it or not, folks, this doesn't happen across the country in other states. I've met with other jurisdictions on other issues, whether it's neighborhood revitalization and some of the things we're doing here locally, different governments participating together and collaborating. It doesn't always happen. And that along with the public sector support we have here is what really makes great projects like this go here in Central Iowa, and we ought to be proud of it. I can tell you just a little history, and I saw my friend City Councilman Joe Gatto here. We were out here a number of years ago, and we did the ceremonial closing of or opening of the valve to drain the lake. And it's been a few years ago that happened, but as you recall, the lake was silted in. There was invasive species of fish in here. And anyway, that initial project to dredge this lake, the restoration of the shoreline, the completion of all the trails, are what really kicked this off to make it more of a destination than it's ever been, and then really added a lot of momentum to get this project off the ground that we're talking about here today. So some unknown facts probably. You know, there was a bit of an issue when we were dredging this lake, getting all the silt dredged out. And the dredge company was gone, and we didn't get all the dredge out. So we had to mechanically remove a lot of the silt in the bottom of this lake. So there are dump trucks out here, there were front end loaders out here, and most of the silt that they took out of here, they hauled up to Riverview Island to lift that island up before that stage was built up there. So when you're standing at Riverview, you'll know that Easter Lake is right below your feet. So anyway, but this is just, you know, it's unbelievable. Having been involved in the initial restoration as much as I was, and coming out and meeting with Rick and Bob, who you're going to hear from shortly, it became clear to me that I need to stay out of their way. When they were raising money, they were knocking on doors. They're the fundraisers and the volunteers that raise this money, and everybody put it together. They're the real rock stars here, and we're going to hear from those guys right now. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate all the hard work that the fundraisers did. And also Scott G. Is Scott here? Right here, right. Oh, thank you. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to these guys, or I'll let you do that, Rich. Thanks, everybody, for being out here.
Thank you, Supervisor Hawkinsmith. And yeah, I am privileged to hand this off. You know, and we started looking, and I'm not going to talk numbers or process or anything. I'll leave that for them. That's their thunder. But when we started doing this, we contacted Ellen Nelson with Funding Solutions. She's here today somewhere. We were talking with the Great Outdoors Foundation. I know Hannah Inman is here as far as a financial vehicle that we could use, a nonprofit. And so we started lining up the wheels. But then when you go and embark on a fundraising campaign, you need leadership. You need people in the community that people respect and that have a tie to it. And we had a team coming together with, you know, Rick Juergens, Scott Jean, Bob Myers. Oh my goodness, the team that we put together, and in such a short time put together this whole project. Again, humbling gratitude. So for that, I give you Rick, Scott, and Bob.
Thanks, Rich, and thank you all. Thank you so much for being here on this proud day. We're so excited about getting this project underway. I can't tell you. I lost the coin flip, so I'll be speaking on behalf of these rascals beside me here. But, and my main job is to do a lot of thanking of people, and I'll do that. I can tell you, when we started on this project, we really didn't know exactly what it would entail when we decided to do a universally designed outdoor public space. But we did know, as Rich alluded to, that we wanted one in which everybody could use it, regardless of any challenges they may have in life, mental, emotional, or physical. We wanted them all to be able to come to this park and enjoy it with friends and family, and that's what's going to happen. And once we figured out that we were going to do that and help people like veterans and a diverse population and the environment and all the things this park is built to design, or designed to be, we figured out we had to raise about $8.1 million. When we first started, I see Doug Romig and I saw Tanya Logan. They're the two people that really kind of got the idea of a universal design right here at this park, talking one day, and it is now going to happen, kids. You can be really proud of that conversation you had, because it led to what's going to happen. We found out we had to raise $8.1 million. Big task. And it took us a whole year to do it. I was a little disappointed in that. Rich thought that was pretty good. Bob and I are a little impatient, you know. So, and so I think our community, many of the people standing in front of me here and sitting, responded amazingly. Just as we're used to seeing in Des Moines and Iowa. It's so gratifying to be a part of things like this. And so there's a bunch of people we want to thank. I certainly want to thank my cohort in crime from day one, Bob Myers. I twisted his arm to get involved with this, and he worked his tail off. And I like to say we're twin sons of different mothers. We're good buddies and proud to work on this together. And of course, Scott took over with the public side of things and is doing a great job. We're just about done. We raised the $8.1 million in a year. We wanted to raise about another $500,000 for programming dollars so that we can make sure that the dream of this park happens. not just that we build it, but that it's used by the people that can use it. And so we're just about done with that. Scott's been doing a great job, and we're going to make that happen. I also want to thank, again, because I think it's worthy of mention, Debbie and the governor and the state for their Destination Iowa grant that put us over the top, and certainly the county supervisors for their undying support of this thing. And we met with all the supervisors, not just the 3 that are here, and they were all supportive. The city of Des Moines has been behind it. A guy that we need to thank and has been a quiet leader in this thing is Bill Knapp. He was our honorary chair. He signed on very early. It took Bob and I all of about 5 minutes to convince him he ought to do this. And you know, Bill, he does a lot for our community, and so we owe him a lot. And I think we have a leadership and advisory team. I can't take time to mention them all because they didn't give me enough time, but many of them are here. You'll hear from one of them in a minute. Outstanding leaders that have done so much, and they're the ones that really made this happen. They're the ones that helped us raise the money. Everybody here played some role in making this thing happen. Everybody. If you're here today, you're playing a role. And you can be proud because you're not only changing the park so that anyone can use it, but you're setting an example for the rest of Iowa, for the rest of our nation, and even the rest of the world for what it means to create outdoor public spaces that are available for everyone, regardless of any challenges they may have in life. So be proud. We're proud of you. And I certainly want to thank Rich. He's been up here talking to you, but he's been really a huge supporter of this, along with Cammie Rankin. Cammie is a bulldog who not only has made the design of this thing come to pass with the help of the Harkin Institute, but she will see to it that this park is done right and that it's run correctly. And we're really lucky to have her to do that. Also want to thank Ellen. She was mentioned before, but she's the one, Bob and I like to say, she cracked the whip on us all the time, making sure we got everything done. And we did. You have in the little package you were given a list of donors. I hope you'll take a little time to look that over, because you're going to find there individuals, companies, organizations, foundations, government agencies that generously open their pocketbooks to make sure that this thing happened. One of those companies is Athene. As you heard, the park will be named after Athene, and I have the privilege of introducing you to a gentleman that is their CEO and in his own right, a proud Iowan, right, Grant? That's an inside joke with Grant. But, and we're really proud of him and his company and the wonderful people that work at Athene for their support of this. So please welcome Grant Havelheim.
So the inside joke there is I actually don't live in Des Moines. I commute here every week from Princeton, New Jersey. But Rick granted me, I guess, ex officio membership of Des Moines. So, look, Athene came to this pretty late in the game, and all the iterations and wonderful developments and expansion of vision that Rich talked about had already been created. And we were presented with this beautiful plan. And it was presented by Rick and Bob to Rona Baranovas, Christy Burma, and myself. I think it took us less than 5 minutes to say that this was something we really wanted to do. And of course, we need to do some more diligence. We need to make sure that we believe that it was really going to happen. And that didn't take too much convincing either when we looked at how much progress they were making and how fast it was coming together. And then we really just had to decide how much support we wanted to give to this project. And in the end, we decided to become the name sponsor. Proud to have that role, and we can't wait to see what this is like when it's finished. We felt that way about this project. Our foundation focuses on a few things that we try to get done in the community. One of them is around the environment, conservation, and sustainability. This certainly checks that box. One is quality of life for people here in central Iowa, and being able to get outdoor recreation certainly checks that box. And the last is we're trying to focus on things that bring the whole community together, and in ways that people have already mentioned in terms of access. This really checks that box. So again, proud to be here, proud to be a sponsor. We're playing a small part compared to what everybody else here is doing, but thank you for asking me to speak today.
I am so glad we checked those boxes, right? Now we're going to hear, just go into kind of the ceremonial part of this. You know, it's been mentioned before that our concept grew into this was going to be the most universally and designed and accessible park in the United States. Why not dream big, right? What we did here is important not just for the people that will be served, but their families. And what we've done here is develop checklists, develop methods that we at Polk County Conservation will use for every single project we do from here on out. We're going national, and we're going to be looking at different speaking venues and things like that. And we believe that what we did here, with the help of everybody that's been involved, is going to have national repercussions, which is awesome, right? I'm going to, at one of our meetings, we had Owen show up, Owen Leader, and his parents are here with him today, John and Emily, and they spoke to us, and then Owen spoke to us about some of his thoughts of him. By the time we got done, he was just continuing to speak. He very much enjoyed talking to us and what we were going to do here. So we've invited John and Emily and Owen, if he wanted to share a few words today. All right, that's fine.
Thank you for that introduction, and I'm proud to be here on behalf of Emily, Owen, my daughter Maeve, and Owen's twin brother Charlie, who's not here. Unlike Rick, I didn't even get the coin toss experience. Owen just threw me up here and told me I was going solo. But I'm happy to do it. You know, a lot has been said about inclusion, and Emily and I speak about inclusion's a powerful word, but without any action behind it, what does it really accomplish? And what's really powerful to me is the idea of Owen, a ton of friends, classmates, field trips, etc., all coming up here and being able to use the lake for different things. Owen loves to fish. Told Rick all about that at a couple of different meetings, and I, again, appreciate Rick and Bob and the committee's time to not just ask Owen, could we put you on the committee as a name that maybe a few people would recognize the name, but come to the meetings, come to our house, get a chance to speak to Owen, get a chance to understand what drives him, what motivates him, and despite his shyness today, he wants to be out socially and be with people and be laughing and having a good time. A lot of his friends want that for Owen too, but it's hard for them to engage him in the right environment. So something like this, whether it's a birthday party, a field trip, as I mentioned, or just an outdoor adventure with his friends, is a huge benefit to our family, and I think a lot of families like ours. I am a transplant from Long Island and stopped commuting 16 years ago, and I don't miss it at all. But I do admire Iowa for the way we come together, and it's interesting to hear some of the folks that make that happen, but we are very proud to be a part of it. And you know, Rick and I have talked about 8.1, we're here, but he wanted another $500,000 to make sure it continues to sustain and continue to go, and I think that's the challenge for all of us. So we're really excited to be a part of it. Again, thank you to the committee for involving our family, for involving Owen, and thanks to everybody for being here.
All right, almost time to shovel and kick around some dirt, but we have other people. There's too many to recognize. We have Emily and Shive Hattery that has managed a lot of this project. We have Jason Jones, who's been the construction manager. We have staff, some of them you heard from, some of them in the background that have done a fantastic job. So just too many to mention that have come together to make this work. Let's move some dirt. So to kick off construction, we've gathered people, a group of people who truly deserve to celebrate the moment. These are the people that we really want to honor today, our future park users. So first, located in the backhoe behind me, I thought it was going to be a little backhoe. That's a big backhoe. We have a veteran named of Tanya Stone. She served in the U.S. Marine Corps from 79 to 84. She's a proud veteran and actively involved in outpatient programs at the VA. She says she's thrilled with this project that will enable disabled veterans to enjoy life and have experiences that can enrich their lives. So, I don't know if she can hear me, but take it away, Tanya. I'm waiting for the cue. Tanya. That's quite the golden shovel there, right? And now, if you could please join me in cheering on representatives from the Veterans Administration, Link Associates, Des Moines Rowing Para-Rowing Program, and many more. Some of those participants, please come up and grab a shovel. You get to throw the first dirt up here.
Thank you. Got it, Britt. Get on in there, girl. Thank you for being here.
Once everybody gets up there, I'll do a 3, 2, 1, throw some dirt. All right, still got a couple shovels there in the middle if we could fit somebody in. Okay, how we doing? Let's do a, ready? Everybody with me. Oh, wait. We almost got it. One more. There we go.
Got it? Anybody else need one? One more over here. Even if
There
you
we
just
go.
hold it up in the air. There you go.
Tanya, great. Okay, so everybody with me. 3, 2, 1. Turn that dirt. All right, now that construction is officially underway, you can expect a flurry of activity. It will probably be tomorrow that we knock that building down. Over the next year and a half, we'll have contractors out here doing demolition and site prep already this fall. Spring through the summer of 2023, this place is going to be a mess. This place is going to be under construction as everything goes in. We will hopefully open this park officially in the spring of 2024. That's the timeline we're working on, and we're looking pretty good. That's a very aggressive timeline, actually, for government, so we're looking pretty good at that. I want to thank you, all of you, for joining us today. After this, please stick around for the celebration. We have cider and cookies, I believe, set up over here. If you want to, we have displays of adaptive equipment. I'm not sure quite where that's set up at. Over there also, okay. And then if you want to have kind of a little mini tour over by the map of the area, by the concession building, we're going to be taking a small tour of the future park layout. So with that, again, I give you my humble gratitude on this joyful celebration. Thanks for coming out today.